Welcome to the Seattle Wine Awards, Washington State's premier wine recognition program. Here's an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the evaluation process and our tasting panel with your host, Margot Myers.
Welcome to Seattle's historic Rainier Club, site of the judging for this year's Seattle Wine Awards. I'm thrilled to be joined by Andy Perdue. He is the editor of Wine Press Northwest. And Andy, you are in a perfect position to be able to talk about Washington wines and how you've seen them evolve over the last several years. What are you noticing?
Well, I'm noticing certainly more wine because we're up over 750 wineries now and up over 40,000 acres of wine grapes. So we're seeing more wine, and it's not just the larger wineries making more, it's more wineries. And they're experimenting with varieties that we haven't seen before, Counoise and Pinot Noir. We tasted some Pinot Noir today that we wouldn't normally see in Washington. But there's a lot of exciting things going on because of the variety of wines being made in Washington State.
We're noticing some of these single grape wines, like the Carmenieres, the less common. Have you tasted any of those today?
Well, this morning we've had several Grenaches, Mourvedres, Counoise, and on the whites we've had Cigarebe, which is a fun variety that's mostly grown in western Washington. It's a cool climate variety. To me, that's the most exciting part of a judging like this.
What are you noticing about the quality of Washington wines?
Quality is going up considerably because with competition, everybody has to be on their game. And you've seen this in Walla Walla for the last 10, 15 years. You can't really be in Walla Walla without making great wine. But we're seeing that statewide now. There are regions that maybe start out making wine that wasn't quite as good, but they had to really up their game if they're going to compete at not only a statewide level, but a national level and now an international level.
Where do you see Washington when we look at wines around the world? How do we stack up against some of the competition?
Well, there's two ways to look at that. In quantity, we're extremely small. Washington makes 5% of the wine in the United States. We're number 2 in the country. The United States makes 5% of the wine in the world. So we really are just a tiny drop in the glass of the world wine scene. But in quality, Washington really doesn't take a back seat. Not that long ago, the 2005 Columbia Crest Reserve Cab was named #1 wine in the world by Wine Spectator. They taste, 35,000 wines a year, and a Washington Cab finished #1. You look at Quilceda Creek on the upper end of the scale for Washington, getting perfect scores from Robert Parker year after year after year. And to me, that says that on a quality basis, Washington really takes a backseat to nobody. And on a price basis, we're pretty inexpensive.
What about judging the Seattle Wine Awards? What do you enjoy most?
I don't judge with sommeliers very often, so it's kind of fun to be around that crowd, and it's a little different for me. But also just the breadth and the depth of the entries provides an experience that most people don't have the opportunity for. I taste a lot of wines, and I do a lot of judging, so it's not quite that way for me, although this is the largest judging of Washington wine held. And so to see a real breadth of the industry is fun.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Kiss French, drink Northwest.
Love it. Thank you.
For more information, visit SeattleWineAwards.com. Friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch more videos on the Seattle Wine Awards YouTube channel. The Seattle Wine Awards, a toast to Washington wine.